right, today we got Pat at Jam Pack Bullies. How you doing today, sir?
I'm all right.
First, we just want to start out. How long have you been involved with the American Bullies?
American Bullies, I really got into them about 10, 11 years ago with the whole bully breed and the whole bully breed concept. I've been dealing with dogs ever since I was about 12, 13 years old.
12 or 13? Because I remember you had Champion Loki.
Yeah, Champion
So
Loki,
I guess you started off with the UKC dogs first?
Yep, started out in UKC, did the whole UKC show. Grand Champion Hera was one of my claims to fame, and Champion Loki, who was off of Koi and Rico. The flip side of Dozer Daisy was one of the first ones that I started with once I got into the paper side of dogs.
Now, what was one of the first American Bullies you had?
American Bullies, I mean, the whole concept of American Bullies kind of evolved around that time. They're starting to be coming out as we were all being pushed out of the UKC. But Loki, Hera were there, but Cali Nugs was probably the very first one that really had that bully style that we are known to have today.
Okay. How did you come about to own Cali Nugs?
Cali Nugs, once I seen that dog for the first time, Jay of Hops Kennels had him. And once I seen him for the first time, I knew that was my dog. That was my style dog. Nice, big, solid rock head, that smash muzzle. A little bit taller than I liked, and not as much body, but that head. I mean, if anybody knows me, that the head shape and the muzzle, those are like my two big favorite things about dogs. So once I seen him, I had to have him. I started trying to buy everything off of him. I had purchased one of his daughters. I had bred, I think I was the second person to even ever breed to him, after, of course, the famous Killer Cam and Roadblock breeding. So right after that, Hops had come to me and offered me, hey, he knew I was in the market. I was about ready to pick up two females. I think I was going to pick up something right off of Paco, right at the time of Paco, and there was a couple of heavy hitters I was looking for at that time. But I got the call, Cali Nugs was up, and without a question, I bought them right then and there, and I think it was a week later I was up there picking them up.
Yeah, I remember seeing Nugs at like you told me earlier, the Allentown show. And that headpiece was, I was like, man, I haven't seen a dog like this. That's when I first really started going to shows at that time. I was like, man, I haven't seen a dog with that size like that before.
Yeah, the original, the very first Allentown show was a benefit show for DJ. This was about 6 years ago. And that's pretty much right. I think that was the first show I brought Cali Nugs out to when he was which Jam Pack had started right around that time. Had changed from JP Pits to Jam Pack right around that time. We brought him out. If you look in the Time of Dog magazines, I don't know which issue, but right when you look at it, you open it up to the Allentown show, you'll see me walking Cali Nugs right in the middle of it. So that was like his debut under Jam Pack right there, and he was definitely a poster child of what the American Bully was looking like at that time.
Yeah, I think that might be that Little John issue, because I think I'm in there with the kids and my dog. So yeah, I think that's a Little John.
Yeah, it might be.
Hey, shout out to anybody know what that one is. I'm trying to get that one.
Might got a copy at home for you.
Speaking of Killer Cam, you think that's one of Nugs' probably best kids, you would say?
Killer
as
Cam,
far as the headpiece?
Killer Cam Roadblock, that Paco, Cali Nugs, Williams Bull blood worked very well. The Williams Bull, Cali Nugs, his side of it, the blood was very, very hard to manipulate. With the height on it and with the body on it, it was very, very hard blood to manipulate. It took me years to finally come out to something that I really liked of it. And it ended up going back to Team Inc.'s Holidays dog Nala, which was off of Hindu Nala. They're good. Their girl. I bred that to Nugs, and we made Juggernaut. Juggernaut wasn't as well famous, and currently, there's no ties or no papers on him, but Juggernaut, if a lot of people remember, that was one of the dogs I was pushing at the time, and he was the short, wide, nice head. Remind me of what Rizzy looks like of today, but maybe just had a little bit more. But that was probably the best. Not taking nothing away from Killer Cam or Roadblock. All three of those dogs are legends of themselves, but that was my strand. What I found out worked, doubling up on his blood, tripling up on his blood. It didn't work too well. It brought out long. It brought out a lot of problems, and I'll be the first one to admit any problems in my blood weak rears, bad bites, you know, cleft palates. There was a lot of flaws with that blood, but if you used it right, as any breeder would do, you know, what's called, you breed away from those flaws, and then you keep on going. And I learned that there was a lot of things with that blood you could not touch.
Okay, now transitioning over to shows, what made you start? What was your first show you threw?
We jumped right out of the gate and got lucky and threw the Maryland Bully Expo 1.
And I remember that one.
This was a time of need that the Northeast had no shows north of Virginia. The only show in Virginia was the Racer's Edge Original. I think it was Back to the Bullies back in like 05 or 04. I mean, that was the furthest north show up there. So we was just having, I always had barbecues at my house. All of us around the area would all come together. And we was just talking about it and said maybe we should throw a show. And I remember Bully Madness, Mike and Ron of Bully Madness was there, Steve Commander was there, and Cedric was there. We all talked about maybe throwing a show together. So we all came together. It was about talking about throwing this show, but there was a lot of different controversials on how it was going to go. So it ended up everybody backed out and was left with me. And I turned to my partners and said, do we want to take this risk? Do we want to come out and do it? We went out and looked at everything, and we thought it would be something good for the bullies around, for all the bully breed around, especially for the Northeast, because we didn't have anything. And we actually hit a home run on that first one, and it started a whole movement up this way.
Yeah, I agree with that because it was a very large turnout with the dog community and the people just in general from the public coming to see the dogs that day. I remember that day. Talking about that show that day. Now, was that the first show with the cash prize?
That we did come straight out the gate with cash prize. That was something have always said I want to give back to the community. You know, you guys come out, we all come out. I was on the show side of it. I spent all my income tax money running up and down the East Coast when I did UKC shows. You know, so I know there's a lot of money involved when you're trying to show dogs. So I thought, what better way? I mean, cash is king. So what better way to give back to the community than to give out cash prizes? So we at that time, it was only single ABKC shows going on at that time. So we did one single ABKC show and one cash show, fun show. I judged it that first time around, and I think it was Bombs of Baghdad took the whole entire thing. And if you've never seen that female, she's one of the most impressive females you'll ever see. And then I know, I can't remember the dog's name, but Iceberg Pit's male was the other male that won. So we didn't give out $1,000, we gave out $2,000 that day.
Yeah, I definitely remember that. Now, going from that point to throwing shows, how did you transition over to being an ABKC judge now?
Now, when ABKC first came around, I was asked to become a judge, and we was waiting for everything to go on, and waiting for it all to pick up and all. And eventually, I went ahead and accepted the invitation. I talked to Ron Ramos. I had to go ahead and send him all my credentials, all my UKC background, all my showing background. I took the steps of every judge at that time. I had to do my apprenticeships. I apprenticed under 3 different judges. You know, I had to be evaluated. Went ahead and did everything I had to, and then it became a judge. I thought it was more of a repertoire, more something to put on my resume, something to go ahead and give back to the community to make it more viable for the Northeast to have a local judge over here. And you know, this is something I can do to help give back. It wasn't. I really enjoy hosting shows more than anything, but it was something else I could do to give back.
Well, speaking on that, so you saying during that time there wasn't really many ABKC reps on the East Coast. Most of them had to come out from the West Coast.
We had Lou was always the judge around here on the East Coast, Northeast, because once again the Northeast didn't have too much. Right now, even currently, the furthest Northeast judges you have are me, Jason Griggs, who lives about 10 minutes from here, and Carrie, who lives about 30 minutes from here, all in Maryland. There's nobody north of Maryland. So right now, it's still in the Northeast, we're still growing and needing more judges. But at that time, Lou down Chesapeake, Virginia, was the closest judge. So, and then you would have to ship out from other places. So at that time, Carrie was a judge, so I thought to get more variety around, I can go ahead and give back and contribute my knowledge back to the bully community.
Okay, I see. With that being said, is there a push right now to try to get more judges?
I've been recently. I think there's a lot of interest in becoming a judge, but there's a real strong there's a real strong process you have to go through to become it, because right now a lot of judges, and it's always going to be this way, a lot of judges are under the microscope. So we want to make sure that we have the best judges out there and that they're trained the proper way, or they have the right experience to do it. So there's always going to be a push for proper judges, but only the elite will make it through.
Yeah, because I heard, speaking with Mr. Ramos at the Beast of the East show, he was talking about that, about the hard evaluation process and how some judges might not make it and others will, and I guess changing the image of the judges also is about as far as dress. Have you seen the difference with that now?
I've always agreed with it. I remember back in the UKC day, it used to be real laid back, just like how ABKC was, but a lot of us all started coming in there with khakis and a nice button up or a collared shirt. You know, it just shows respect, and especially on the judges' point now, we should show respect back to it. We're here to perform a job. We should look clean, and we shouldn't come out there looking dirty. So I like the what's called dress, that there is kind of a dress code. So I like it, but I think it should have been it's just more of respectful manner.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Now, going from that point, now transitioning from American bullies to the Shorty bulls, what made you start to get into that breed now?
One of my best friends, Jake of True Blues Kennels, he had started getting, he's kind of, when I got into the bullies and to the UKC show world, I had bought Grand Champion Hera from him as a puppy, and he had kind of took me around into the UKC world. I had been in the ABBA world before that. Then he had made the transition, started making the transition into the Shorty bull world, so I had started seeing that, had real close hands on seeing it personally, but I hadn't seen the ones I liked yet. You know, it was still too new to me, and I hadn't been out there and seen it all yet. And then it started growing on me over like 2-3 years. It started growing over me. Finally, I did the biggest mistake, bought one as a pet. And once I bought one as a pet, it happened. Everything, I just got addicted. You know, that breeder mentality set in. I bought that male, so I wouldn't be a breeder on it, but the dog just won me over. The small bulliness of the breed, the energy, you know, it had everything that the American bullies had, but on that small, compact frame. So it just became a lot easier to take care of, and it just won me over. So slowly, the transition over 2 years happened where the bullies started going out and more Shorty bulls started coming in.
With that, do you see more of the sales of Shorty bulls among the bully community, or do you see it also spreading out to just the general public on the whole?
The best thing about the Shorty bulls is it hits everybody. So the bully community, a lot of people are starting to make that transition. Like I always warn everybody, once you buy one, you're going to end up selling all your bullies and going over. It's happened to a lot of people. But you can sell these dogs to your grandmother. You can sell them to a person that lives in an apartment. You can sell them to anybody. A lot of these dogs are going overseas into like Spain, where it's just a lot of high rises and, you know, real tight quarters, but these dogs can be there. So it's a bigger market for these dogs than in the bully community. But they are prices usually run from $1,000 up to $5,000, and it's pretty firm on those prices. So it's keeping a little bit of the $200 dogs, $100 people, the people that are just grabbing a dog because they could barely afford it. It's keeping those people away, but it's opening up to a whole new market.
Now, who are the originators of the Shorty bulls?
Amy and Jamie out in Kansas are the originators of Shorty bulls.
What was their, I guess, thought process in wanting to make a dog like that?
What I've gathered, I can't speak for them, but what I've gathered is they pretty much wanted to bring all the genetic health problems out of the English, out of the Frenchie, out of the miniature bulldog breeds. Bring those breeding problems, those breathing problems, those breeding problems, all the health issues out of them, and pretty much make a whole total working dog. So the Shorty Bull is still a functional and working dog on a small, compact frame, but without the genetic health problems. So I believe that was the whole initial thought process behind creating Shorty Bulls.
Okay. With that, are you now currently just strictly Shorty Bulls now?
I'm currently strictly Shorty Bull now. I had just signed over within the last month my final American Bully that had my name on it. So I am completely 100% Shorty Bull now.
Wow. Going back, talking about the Maryland Expo, will there be another Expo again?
We are the talks are we're going to have Maryland Bully Expo 5 this year, same weekend as always, Cinco de Mayo weekend, right back at Maryland. I am interested in a new location. It's probably about an hour away from the other, but I think it might be a better spot, so I'm looking into that. But we are definitely looking to bring back the Maryland Bully Expo triple ABKC show with a $1,000 grand prize on top of every single ABKC show with all 4 breeds that we're doing now. So every year I want to keep on growing something and bring more, and we're also talking about weight pools for that one also. So Maryland Bully Expo 5 is in the works as we speak right now.
Oh, okay. With that, like you were just talking about the weight pools, where do you see normally a lot of weight pools at the show? Is that more of a southern thing, California thing?
We haven't really seen it up. I've seen it up, the Coopers did it up in Blackthorn. They introduced it out there. I've seen it once or twice over in the Northeast. I've seen it a couple times down south. I think it's more of a introduction process right now. It's being done with the ABKC. It's mainly the IOWPA, the Bulldog breeds. They're normally the ones with the weight pool, but I think it's being introduced. And with anything, it's going to be a slow process getting it started, but as people get used to it, it's going to be seen more and more. So we've been pulling it out. Unfortunately, our last show was in July. It was too hot. Our next show is in September. It's going to be too hot. My next show is going to be March 30th, 31st for next year. The next show is going to be in March, back in New Jersey, so we are definitely planning on bringing the weight pool out there.
Oh, okay. Just to give advice to new people that are getting involved with the bully breeds on the whole, from bullies to Shorty Bulls to Frenchies, what advice could you give them in finding the right dog, finding the right breeder?
Anytime you're looking, is just do your research. There's a lot of rumors going around about this, that, and other, but the thing is to do your own research. Talk to that person. Find out how long they've been doing, how often they sell it, what kind of guarantees they put behind it. Look at their production, see how the consistency of it, because anything that somebody's producing, you can see a consistency. Whether it be good or bad, you're going to see a consistency. And see if that's what you can live with. Because ideally, purchasing a dog is a lifetime commitment to that. It's that dog's lifetime. So you want to make sure that you're purchasing something something worthy of you wanting to have. So a lot of people buy stuff, jump in real quick, and just have to have that dog, or get so overwhelmed about the whole atmosphere and just want to be part of it. But take your time, do it slowly, and do a lot of research. And find out that one that you will definitely be happy with, and just go from there, because the whole dog world is never going to go anywhere. It can go up and down, things can happen, but dogs in general are never going to go anywhere. So you definitely just want to take your time and do what's going to be best for you.
Right now, currently, you have 2 big events coming up in September. You want to speak on that?
September 2nd, right here in Maryland at Gunpowder State Park. We wanted to do something to bring it back. Bring back the family atmosphere, bring back all the unity of everybody around. I used to always throw barbecues at the house, but now we've taken them to a bigger scale. We've gone to Gunpowder State Park, rented out a big old pavilion. We're going to have, it's just a free meet and greet, free food. We're catering to everything. What's called, only thing we ask, if you do want to come out, maybe bring your dish. We're going to have awards for best dish. We're going to have awards for maybe the biggest Facebook heckler. We might have a couple little gag awards, but we're going to have the water balloon fight. We're going to have face painting out there for the kids. We were trying to get We're still trying to work on getting the dunk tank. You know, you'll be able to dunk me. You know, if you got some beef with me, you can go ahead and take it out and dunk me in the water. You know, what's called in. A lot of other people have gone ahead and joined in on it. You know, you'll see like Len, Stony, Grumpy's Edge. You know, you'll see a lot of them that are all willing to participate in on this. You'll be able to come out and have a good time. It's up at Gunpowder State Park, September 2nd. It's Labor Day weekend. We got 3 days. So you can hit a show on Saturday, come hit this on Sunday, be back with the family on Monday, you know. So we try to make it cater to everybody right there. And then September 15th, I want to thank my good friend Benjamin of Rare Breed Bullies. He brought me in to go ahead and help host a show down in Chesapeake, Virginia. It's Virginia Beach Bully Tidal Wave. We called it Tidal Wave because we're bringing out all the dogs with titles. We've marketed it out to everybody. We got a lot of dogs coming out. We want to bring out all the best dogs for everybody to see. We're bringing out our new green screen photography. We're bringing out what's called Atomic Dog mascots from the last issue 22. We're bringing out Bentley, and then we're having the next dog on the cover, Frankenstein. He's also going to be there. You know, we've got dogs from the West Coast coming out. We've got dogs from the East Coast, the South, everywhere. This is a very central location. So it's going to be perfect for everybody on the East Coast to be there, or we're bringing in the Midwest and everybody else out. So Virginia Beach, September 15th, the place to be is in Virginia Beach, the Virginia Beach Bully Tidal Wave show.
Oh, speaking of that, you made me want to backtrack a little bit, going back to the New Jersey show, where it sort of caught the title Mini Nationals. Mini Nationals. Yeah, all the big names came out. Bistro, Big Papa, Lev Rock, Stax, Big Bentley. Oh my God! Now Grand Champion KO. I mean, it's so many dogs that came out to that show. How's it feel to get that many dogs in one spot that wasn't national?
That was great. I mean, that was what we needed. That was the unity of the bully community coming back together. You know, everybody came out. That show was called the Rebirth because we had a lot of issues the previous year and hadn't filmed a show for a year. So that show was called New Jersey Bully Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth. So what I did was I reached out to everybody, you know, and I knew the dogs that everybody wanted to see. Big thanks to Bully Marcus, Robert, and Young Nubs for coming all the way out from Cali and coming to represent and bring Bistro out for the East Coast to see. Putting him and Big Papa, KO, 1, 2, and 3 right there in the same exact ring. You know, if you were there for the very last show, they were in the same exact ring. I actually had the pleasure of judging that one. So I mean, it was phenomenal. I couldn't ask for anything better. We had an outstanding turnout. Everything went positive. You know, it was a very, very good look for us as a bully community, and it showed what the show dogs are supposed to be. And that was just the top name dogs. If you look down in the classes, what the dogs were winning in there, you know, a lot of people championed out that time. A lot of great dogs won. It's not always about the number 1, number 2, that grand champion class. They're going for best in breed, but even that day, a champion won. The day before, the show before, a champion won. So it's not always about the big names or anything like that. It's about dogs in general. There was a lot of great dogs out there. A lot of great dogs.
Going back from when you first saw shows compared to now, you see a lot of the kids getting involved with the junior handlers. How do you see that evolving right now? Are they pretty good?
The junior handlers is something I've grabbed and embraced ever since I've had the chance. You know, that was the best move I think anybody can do because kids are our future. You know, they're the ones that's going to, we're passing the torch on to later on. So if we can teach them right now, it's going to be such a great future that we're going to have. And in the junior handlers class, we're sitting there, we're quizzing the kids. They're getting to know that mosquito bites cause worms, what's called heartworms. These are things that a lot of breeders, unfortunately, don't know. You know, where the wither's at, what's a proper bite. There's a lot of different things that we sit there and quiz these kids, and they're coming on point. Just over the last few months, I've judged probably about 3 or 4 junior handlers classes, and I've had some of the same kids, and they're getting smarter and harder to quiz every single time, and it's such a great thing, and I get a lot of joy out of seeing that. You know, everything we do, every show we do, we always bring the junior handlers out. It's free. what's called, you don't have to pay for anything. Once you're ABKC registered as a junior handler, you never have to pay for it again. So we always have it free with us. And I definitely embrace it. I tell you to bring your kids. I'm actually now, we got a couple Shorty wool puppies. I'm going to be teaching my own kids and passing that on with them. It's something that I think every kid's going to love.
Now, with that, are there junior handler classes offered at the shows for kids?
Yes, we always offer 2 junior handler classes. So the first thing we run is the junior handlers. There's 5 different categories. It all gets broke down in ages, and then novice, and then showman. So if you've won I believe it's 3 times in novice, you'll move up. So, and then you get points for it. You accumulate points, and the ABKC gives out awards at nationals for it. So they've got their own circuit now, and it's tough competition, and they're embracing it. But the best thing about it encourages sportsmanship. That's one thing that's graded on there as us judges. We're not grading the dogs at all. I don't care what dog you come in there. You can come in there with a poodle. Just know your dog. So, but just make sure you know your dog, and you're getting graded on your performance, and it's always a positive thing. We try to keep it very positive, and it's moving very proactively.
Well, I didn't even know that it's based on performance and really not the dog. Because just filming at the New Jersey, so you were right, they were asking a lot of questions about the dog. I was surprised, but I was like, dang, these kids actually know about this. So, yeah, I can definitely see they probably have more knowledge than some of the adults about certain parts.
Unfortunately, it is true. I know there was one junior handler that always, every show, asked me to quiz her, and if I'm judging, I cannot do it. You know, she wants to know every ins and outs of everything, and you know who you are. I'm not going to call you out, but you know, that's a great thing. She takes a lot of pride in what she's doing. So she wants to know, and she wants to find out everything she's wrong with. And anytime I'm judging, I'll sit there, and if I do find a mistake, I'll tell them right then and there. I take the time. I'll sit there and talk with them and tell them exactly what they can improve or what needs to be done. And a lot of times they do it very well. I remember in New Jersey, there had been a couple of junior handlers that I have judged a few times, and they both were so on point that there was nothing to find in the two. So at the very end, I told them to show me something that's going to make them to find it. And it just so happened that the one person didn't happen to be watching the other. So that was the only defining thing in it. So it's getting very tough. And anybody with a junior handler, please bring them out. Practice with them, and you know, they're going to love it and have a good time. All the kids win. All the kids ultimately win.
You know, some of the times I'll see comments from American Pit Bull Terrier owners about our breed, but I don't think they really take the time to understand about our shows, how it's such a family event, how a lot of the American bully owners and breeds on the whole give back to like the rescues or the BSLs. So I mean, what can you say to those type of owners? We already say it's a different breed from the American Pit Bull Terrier.
Basically, it is a separate breed, but that's where our heritage is, you know. So a lot of people are stuck in the ways. They like the traditional pit bull, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just not where we've gone to. We don't go out and try to discredit that, you know. So we try to embrace it. That's why the class is out there. So we try to embrace it, and we just ask for the same thing be coming back in return. You know, we're trying to everything that we're doing is in the positive light. It's nothing bringing down the negative. You know, we don't encourage those faulty dogs being in the ring. In any show, you're looking for the betterment of the breed. So if not any dog is perfect, so there is always going to be faults, but you're looking for the best to do that standard. And with the other pit bull, the traditional pit bull people, if they are seeking out that, okay, there is a separation, we do have a separation. But in turn, it's all the same. We're all out for the same battle. There's a BSL battle going on, and all our dogs are affected. So we should be united on that. But just with anything, you know, there's going to be a little bit of what's called drama going back and forth, internal fighting. But that's to be expected because people's personalities you can't control. So, but my thing is always keep it positive, keep it moving, and as long as you're doing it with a passion and doing it for the right reasons, you're going to prevail in anything.
Okay. I guess going back from the beginning, you've seen how different classes have popped up now. You know, with extreme do you think that there will be a class for the so-called exotic bullies?
Exotics, I mean, there's talks about it going on in other registries. I don't hear anything going on with the ABKC. I do not approve of it. I don't think that we need to keep on changing and open up the gates. We made the transition to the American bully. Then we broke it down 5 different ways, you know, so, and keep doing it. When are we going to put a stand on it, you know? When are we just going to keep on moving forward versus keep on trying to please everybody? Now the exotics, I don't see a written standard that's justified to everything. I've seen written standards. Half of them are spelled like my son would spell it. You know, it's grammarly wrong. It's represented wrong. There's a lot of controversials, whether what's called the tail, you're allowed to have it corked, but tail is what's called not supposed to be corked in the same exact standard. I mean, until they can ever what's called really settle down and get that all right and figure out what an exotic is, there's never going to be anything. And once they do, they're going to realize that the exotic either going to fit in the pocket, it's going to fit in the extreme, it's going to fit in the standard, it's going to fit somewhere. So there's no reason for us to make exotic now. And there's no horns or unicorns coming out of these dogs, so there's no real exotic. They're not dancing on no poles, so there's not an exotic dancing dog. It's not an exotic unicorn, so I don't understand the whole exotic thing. But that's just my beliefs. I love a lot of the dogs. I mean, it's that bully style that I like, but the exotic name I don't agree with.
Okay, I see what you mean. Now, just are you headed to nationals this year?
Unfortunately, we probably won't be in nationals. Just a lot of personal reasons, we just won't be there. But I do encourage anybody, if you can. That's what's it called? That's the place to be. I mean, there's going to be a lot of great dogs. You know, nationals is always the biggest show, and you know, Texas does it big. So you know, you want to be down there in Texas.
So what's up next for Jam Pack Bullies?
Right now, we're growing back the what's called the Shorty Bull program right now. So I think we got 4 or 5 upcomers right now coming up. We're getting back on the Shorty Bull program. We're back into the show world. You know, Amber, what's called of Jam Packed, has Sexy Edge going on. She now has become ABKC rep. So you know, now we are able to judge, rep. I'm also have the rep title. So you know, what's called, we're trying to build up more to be able to be available for everybody. You know, we're bringing back a lot more shows to the Northeast. We're expanding. I want to hit Midwest. I want to go down South. I want to bring more shows out there. We have the new green screen photography studio out. So what's called, we'll be able to print, put it on CD, everything right there on spot. Take professional pictures of your dogs at a very, very low cost. You know, what's called, we got some more t-shirt designs coming out. We're trying to branch out to a lot. It's just a matter of funds, for one, time, and manpower. So we're slowly bringing out as much as we can, and we're trying to give back to the bully community. We want to do more things like the free meet and greet barbecue. We want to do more things like the shows. We want to bring everybody together. So the sky's the limit right now.
Yeah, that's not really good to hear, because you seem like you always keep moving, innovating, have money at the shows for the winners. You talk about the new green screen, so it seems like you're always trying to keep moving forward and not.
Yeah, you should know I contacted you a couple months ago about doing DVDs.
Yeah.
So we're always trying to do something positive. This is a very positive thing here. You know, doing interviews, coming back. I'm not a person that likes to get on camera or do anything. You know.
And I appreciate that. Yeah.
It took them a while to convince me of it. I got a little sore throat, so hopefully you can hear me. I mean, but I know it's something positive for the breed. You know. So I don't mind doing it, and Zeb's a great guy in bringing this stuff out. Definitely show him support and love for it. He's been around for a long time. So what's going in, to me, it's another local person here in Maryland. You know, I always love that too.
All right, man, I appreciate your time today. Thank you, man.
All right, thank you.